What is up, Yu-Gi Tubers? It's HarpyHunter89 and the voices in my head coming at you from the Duelist Den. And for today's video, we're going to be going over the top 10 most powerful draw spells that are currently legal in the TCG. Now, before we get any further into this video, I do want to remind everyone out there to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell, and follow all the social media accounts, which are linked down in the description box below, so you can stay up to date with everything happening here at the Duelist Den. So let's go ahead and get into this video. At the number 10 spot, we have Hand Destruction. Hand Destruction is pretty simple. Both players send 2 cards from their hand to the graveyard in order to draw 2 cards. Now, a lot of decks do have the ability to get cards out of the graveyard or to utilize cards in the graveyard, such as Lightsworns, Trickstars, and ABCs. All 3 very relevant decks right now. The only downside to Hand Destruction, and this is why it's so low on the list, is that both players must have a minimum of 2 cards in their hand in order for this card to be activated, which means if your opponent does not have any cards in their hand, then Hand Destruction is a dead card. At number 9, we have One Day of Peace. One Day of Peace allows both players to draw a card, and neither player takes any damage until the end of your opponent's next turn. Now, in order to get max effectiveness out of this card, you would have to use it during your main phase 2, otherwise your opponent will not be taking any damage either. At number 8, we have an oldie but goodie, and that is Upstart Goblin. Pretty simple, draw a card, your opponent gains 1,000 life points. At the number 7 spot, we have Contract with Dawn 1000. Contract with Dawn 1000 is a very handy card to have. You pay 1,000 life points, both players draw a card, and while a player has a spell card revealed with Contract with Dawn 1000, as every card drawn while this is on the field has to remain revealed, then that player cannot normal summon or set a monster. So this does put your opponent at a disadvantage if they revealed a spell card and they can't use it or can't set it to the field. The downside to this card also is that it affects you as well. So if you have a spell card revealed that you can't use or can't play face down on the field, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage as well. But this card does give more advantages than disadvantages, at least in my opinion. At the number 6 spot, we have Shared Ride. Shared Ride's effect is that every time your opponent adds a card from their deck or graveyard to the hand this turn, you draw a card. Now, as I said earlier, a lot of decks do have graveyard recursion where they add cards from their graveyard to their hand or special summon them to the field. Also, a lot of decks do a lot of searching as well. So Shared Ride can potentially be a very, very powerful draw card if you play it at the right time. At the number 5 spot, we have Dark World Dealings. Very similar to Hand Destruction, but it's higher up on the list because even though you do only get 1 draw, your opponent doesn't have to have any cards in their hand in order for you to activate this card. At number 4, we have Into the Void. Into the Void states that if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, you draw 1 card, but during the end phase, you have to discard your hand. So it does allow you to get a draw off, but if you can't use all the cards in your hand, then you're going to be put at a major disadvantage because you have to sacrifice your entire hand during the end phase. Number 3 is Allure of Darkness. Draw 2 cards, banish a dark monster from your hand. This card is so high on the list because the Layer of Darkness structure deck was just released, and with Allure of Darkness, this deck could be very, very powerful and might even be a tier 1 deck. At number 2, we have Card of Demise. Everybody knows what Card of Demise is. Draw till you have 3 cards in your hand. During the end phase, discard your hand. This is higher up on the list than Into the Void because it allows you to draw 3 cards instead of just 1. And the number 1 spot, of course, goes to Pot of Desires. Now, Pot of Desires is a staple in pretty much every deck these days. Banish 10 cards from the top of your deck to draw 2 cards. It is the new age Pot of Greed, and it is seen in pretty much every deck out there these days. But anyway, that's my list for the top 10 most powerful draw spells in the game right now. Let me know what you thought about these cards. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? And if you disagree with my list, what card do you think should have made this list? Let me know down in the comment section below. But until next time, guys, it's HarpyHunter89 and the voices in my head. Just wanted to say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is life.